Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces. My name is Heather Ferris, and today I am joined with or by Simka. Hey, Simka.
Hi, Heather. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, you're really good at English. Should I said by or with?
With, but
Oh,
that's
okay,
okay.
cool. Just wanted to make sure. I
Oh, wait,
wasn't sure.
joined by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So we are here at the Mint. This is the Mint Tavern on Sahara near Las Vegas Boulevard, and this is a fantastic place to go to get drinks, to chill out. They have a lot of shows here. Tomorrow, they're actually going to be doing, I think they said a magic show tomorrow.
Are they?
Yeah, that's what they're going to be doing in this room.
Nifty.
So, yeah. So we are here at the Mint. If you get a chance, please check them out. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter, and always stop by and grab a drink. Cool. So thank you again for stopping by. We are going to be talking about what it's like to be a left-handed dealer. Now, most people out there, when they are dealers, when they start as a casino dealer, I swear, majority of the people are like right-handed dealers, you know? So when you go and you learn how to be a dealer, everything that's taught to you is taught right-handed. And I'm sure you went through that when you were learning how to deal. You know, everything that's taught to you is right-handed, and you're like, hey, wait, I'm a left-handed person. What do I do? What was that experience like? Was that frustrating?
At times, yeah, but it actually wasn't as big of an issue as I feared it would be because flipping around most of the instructions is pretty easy. Like there are really only a few sticking points where you sort of like butt up against barriers that right-handed people don't face, but like there it's pretty easy to overcome with practice.
And what are some barriers that you've bumped up against that most right-handed dealers don't face?
Well, pitch blackjack is definitely one of them. The shoe games, it literally doesn't matter at all because there's almost no handedness to it. Like I had to sort of fight the urge to pay the center spots with my left hand, but like you break yourself of that habit in like a matter of a couple weeks, maybe at the most. But on the pitch games, it's can be difficult to get cards in the discard rack. Excuse me, without covering the bank. They really don't like it if you cover the bank. Don't do that. Surveillance will call. So after you're done picking up the cards, you sort of have to do like a little jig, like cross in front, cross behind, and like move to the side, so that you can put the cards in the rack going like that without having like this half of your body over the rack.
We should give those dealers tap shoes so that way they could do tap dancing.
That's certainly an idea.
Awesome. So with a right-handed dealer, when they're pitching, they're holding the deck in their right hand. Or wait, no,
you're
they're
holding the deck in your left hand
and then
pitching with
pitching
your
with the
right
right hand. Right. And then when we're picking up the cards, we're picking up with the right hand.
Right.
And then just putting them in the discard rack.
Yes.
So when you're picking up the cards, it's exactly the same except reversed.
Right. Oh, and so because I'm picking up the cards in the reverse order, I layer the cards in the reverse order. So, I mean, even though like when I deal the shoe games, I do it in the normal way and I pick up the cards right-handed, and when I deal a pitch game, I tile them diagonally in the opposite direction and pick up the cards left-handed.
That's a really, really good point. So in the videos when I'm teaching how to do this, I always teach you to place the cards in the white space so that way you're not covering the pips. Well, as a left-handed dealer, you have to totally ignore what I just said and actually cover the pips.
You don't cover the pips. What you do is you cover the number that's in the bottom corner and you leave as many of the pips as you can exposed.
What? So if it's like a nine of hearts and you have that nine and then the heart right under the nine, is that what you don't cover is that heart? Or can you cover the nine and the hearts? You just can't cover any of
I
the
cover
center
the nine
pips.
and the heart, but none of the center pips, and the top number is always exposed. So like there's always at least one number showing and the overwhelming majority of the pips.
Okay, so most of the pips. So you place the cards on the table and you're just, instead of saying them say to the right, you would set them to the
Set them to
left.
the left, yeah. Or if I mean I
Set
don't
them from the left, go to the, either way, you just do it the opposite.
No, I think yeah, no, you set them to the right because when you're picking up left-handed and you're scooping
Hmm.
this way. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
You
you're
okay there?
good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
So yeah, you tile them to the you slant them to the right instead of the left.
Okay. Sounds good. And so, yeah, so as a left handed dealer on a pitch blackjack game, you would just do exactly the reverse. So, if a right handed dealer has to hold the deck with their left hand, then as a left handed dealer, you would hold the deck with the right hand. For a right handed dealer, we would pitch with our right hands. For a left handed dealer, you would pitch with your left hand. And then picking up the cards, instead of picking up the cards with your right hand, you would pick with the left hand. But just make sure you place the cards on the opposite side so it's easier to pick up the cards when you're sliding them into a stack or picking them up
Right.
and putting them in the discard rack. So you pick them up and then you go to put them in the discard rack, and that arm crossing is what you were talking about where they don't like you covering the bank.
Yeah, yeah. So you take a few little steps to your right as you're picking up the cards, and then by the time you're done, your body is more or less only in front of the right side of the rack and the discard rack. So like you're fully on the right side of the table, still fully in control of the bank and everything, but like you're not going to cover anything important when you plop them in.
And your body is square to the game, so you're not turning your back to the
Correct.
bank. Your
Yeah, no,
body
no,
is
no, you
square.
never, no, 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 never turn your back on the bank. They really don't like that either. It's as bad as or worse than covering the bank. I'm not really sure. So yeah, so that's another reason why you have to do the sidestep.
Okay. Cool. And so with blackjack, the shoe game isn't really affected, but with the pitch game, that's what we talked about was just the pitching part of it. Is there any other part of the pitch game that was affected by being a left-handed dealer, or was that pretty much it for the blackjack game?
You know what? Mid-hand buy-ins are a little different because when you're holding the deck with your right hand and you're having to access the right hand side of the rack, it can be a little bit awkward. But as long as it's the kind of thing that gets much easier with time. After you've been pitching on that table for a couple weeks, it'll be like, oh, this was never hard. So
Well, yeah, the thing about dealing is it's all muscle memory. So you just have to do it 10 million times and then you're good. And then it's like some people don't realize that. And they're like, I ask people, oh, did you practice? Oh, yeah, I did it once or twice. And it's like, no, you don't understand muscle memory. You have to do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
yeah, it requires a lot of repetition, especially when I was learning to pitch. You taught me to pitch, so you know this. I had to practice an absurd amount, and my rule would be practice as much as when I'm sure I've had enough practice, do 20 minutes more. and
Yeah.
then quit because like it really can't be overstated
Yeah.
the importance of repeating it over and over again.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys are out there, you're listening, if you have any questions about being a left-handed dealer, go ahead, please ask them in the comments, and we will get to those comments here in a second. Also, too, please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos and live streams. And if you don't know, if this is your first time here at this channel, we are dedicated to helping you learn how to play and deal casino table games. So this is not just for the players out there. If you want to deal casino table games, if you want to try to get a job and be in this industry, we will help you do that. So welcome. So what you're dealing roulette, right?
Yes, as of a couple weeks ago, I passed my roulette audition. And I have to say that especially as a lefty, the hardest part is learning to spin the ball. Spinning the ball. Okay, learning to spin the ball at all is hard.
Yes.
Regardless of handedness, learning to do it with your non-dominant hand is harder and requires a lot more practice. I was at the point where I knew all of the keys, I knew the odds, I knew the payouts down pat, and the only thing that was stopping me from auditioning was spinning the ball.
Oh man.
But but it's like anything else. The only thing you got to do is just don't stop practicing. Just do it
Yeah.
again and again and again, and you will eventually get it. I'm one of the least coordinated people I know, and if I can learn to spin the ball with my right hand, so can you.
Well, that's one of the nice things about being a Las Vegas, or I shouldn't say Las Vegas, a casino dealer is you basically you have to learn how to be ambidextrous. You have to learn how to use both your right and left hand as though they're your dominant hand. And I had trouble with this as a dealer. And what I would do is I would actually go home, and this is so silly, but it's true. I would try to use my left hand as my dominant hand. Like when I eat, I would eat food and I would pick up the fork and dude, I look like a 5-year old. It was so horrible. But that was what I had to do to like be better at dealing because then I could, cut checks with my left hand. I could, be on a craps table and use both hands at the same time. And, it was very difficult.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, and that's something that I definitely did not do when I was first learning. So
I
I
don't
think.
think most people do it. I think you only start realizing you have to do it once you've been in the business for a while, and also too, depending on what game you're doing. So roulette, you have to be more ambidextrous. Craps, you have to be more ambidextrous. If you're just on blackjack all the time, then who cares? You could be right-handed all the time, and then no one's going to really care.
As long as you're on a shoe game,
Yes. Or even like with a pitch game, like if you're right-handed on a pitch game.
or no, I thought, okay, never mind, I misunderstood you. Yes, no, exactly what you said. You're completely right. Sorry, I'm on another planet apparently.
No worries, you're good. You're good. So let's see what some people have in the comments. Let's see if they're asking any questions or anything.
All right.
I can't see. I am blind. So let me come over here and take a look real fast. Sweet. Jay says hi.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay. Let's see. Everyone is saying hi. Good to see you. So Dane asks, are left-handed dealers a rarity in Vegas or are they quite common?
Very rare. I mean, well, lefties only account for I think 10% of the population in general. So like, there's going to be a natural imbalance. So it is pretty rare. There's only one other dealer on my shift who's left-handed, and she deals everything. She has all the games. She's on craps half the time and blackjack half the time, and she's an excellent dealer, and she's been doing it for a really long time, and everyone loves her. So
That'd be a great resource to use when you're trying to learn how,
yes,
to.
she has helped me a lot. So if there's like having another lefty on your shift is a big help.
That's really awesome. So how did you, let's see, how am I going to say this? How did you overcome the obstacles of learning how to spin the ball with your non-dominant hand on roulette?
Just practice, and when you think you've already practiced way too much, practice more. Because they say, oh, it's like snapping your fingers. This is what they say, and so with my left hand, with my right hand.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
Oh yeah, I can't really snap with my.
I can't even do that.
Oh, that's
So
so.
you're learning a whole new motion, basically. Like,
Oh.
and sometimes trying, like, it can be very frustrating, but it's definitely possible to do it if you just do it again and again and again.
Would you just sit there and like at home just snap and just keep snapping and
And
oh
I'm
wow.
getting more sound out of this hand than I ever have in my life. Like it used to be like completely like, and now it at least does something. It's not a snap,
hear?
but
Yeah, that's
like
good.
it's not like that.
Yeah.
But
And for anyone out there who is learning how to deal roulette, always snap the ball. You never want to use the twist because that causes carpal tunnel and it can also cause cyst and then that causes surgery. When I was a roulette dealer and I was learning how to deal roulette, I would spin the ball wrong and I actually got a cyst right here in my little spinner Yeah, and it grew and everything, and it was painful and horrible, and I had to get surgery, and I had to get it like removed, and I had to learn how to snap the ball the right way because I didn't want to have a cyst again.
Whew.
Yeah, not fun. You got to learn the right way.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right? Okay, let's see if anyone has any other questions. Let's see here. Eric says it only took him a million times to figure it out.
Sounds about right.
Hi, everyone. So, Tube Wing says, "What is with the Mint sign?" We are here at the Mint. We are being sponsored. The Mint is sponsoring this live stream, and that is why we are showing the sign. And if you ever get a chance, right? If you ever get a chance and you're here in Las Vegas, check it out. They are on Sahara, right next to Las Vegas Boulevard. So they got some pretty good drinks here. Okay, so let's see. Rocky asks, do players notice the difference? Whether you're right-handed or left-handed, have you noticed?
On, God, almost never.
Yeah.
Occasionally somebody, like, I mean, maybe one out of every 50 players on a pitch blackjack game will say, "Oh, you're a left-handed dealer. That's very unusual." But like that's no, they're not thinking about their dealer's handedness. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about whether they're winning or losing or what they're going to eat for dinner. Like they're not. No one else. No one is. No, I guess that's another piece of good news is that no one is worried about this except you.
Well,
So,
you and your management.
yeah, that's true.
And what was that like? What was it like to go in there and be a left-handed dealer and talk to management about policies and procedures and rules that you had to follow? Were they pretty easygoing? Did they know the
Yes.
answers?
Yes, this is one of the things that I like best about my current job is that they're super easy to work with. If you need clarification on something, they're right there helping you out. So I think having management that has your back is a big help.
That is really big, and that's actually one of the major roles the management should have is they should always have the dealer's back. I know that there are some casinos out there where management doesn't have their dealer's back, and it's not a good place to work. If you are working at a place like this, find someone different or find some other casino, because they should always have your back, always.
So,
Okay, let's see if
all
anyone
right.
else is asking any more questions. So Fred says, is roulette harder than other games to deal with your non-dominant hand?
Yes, a lot harder. It's much harder to learn to deal roulette with your non-dominant hand than it is to learn to pitch with your non-dominant hand. At least in my experience, what is it, that your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
So,
What was it like to learn how to be a Las Vegas dealer, period? Was that very difficult to learn? And then plus you had the extra added, not really burden, but sort of kind of burden because it's like you had to do extra to learn how to be a dealer because you were left-handed versus being right-handed.
I think it's still very achievable. It is in many ways it's not as bad as I feared, and I actually like the job a lot more than I thought I would. I thought that like, I'd do this for a few months until I can find something better or something in my field, whatever that is. But now I'm like I'm 6 months in. I don't want to leave. Like it's great.
It is.
So not too difficult to do, and very worth it.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, let's see if anyone else has any other questions. Oh my God, I need to have like Superman eyes. Tom says he likes the mint. Awesome. And hello from France. Wow.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. Bonjour. Sweet. Okay, so if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. Is there anything else that you would want to tell people out there who are learning how to be dealers and they're left-handed? Any other tips or tricks for them to keep in mind?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll say it again because I can't say it enough. Just keep practicing. So
Cool. Yay, very cool. Awesome. So would you like to promote anything or would you like to promote your social media or anything
oh
like that?
no, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't have anything like that going on right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty offline these days, so
That's
for
cool.
better or worse.
And what's the next game that you're learning?
Oh, that's a really good question. I haven't decided yet.
What are the choices?
Well, I know the only thing I know is that it's not going to be craps. I'm never going to learn craps. That looks way too hard. If you are a craps dealer, hats off to you because that's way more drama than I'm ready to deal with. But I might learn the rest of the carnivals because those are pretty easy. And I don't know. I mean, I have blackjack and baccarat and pai gow and now roulette and three card poker. Like, what do I have left besides craps? Like the rest of the carnivals.
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
so
You could do like you could do different variations. So with mini baccarat, they have they have like the side bets that you have to learn, the no commission mini baccarat. They have Emperor's Baccarat or Emperor's Challenge, I think it was.
true. Oh, and I
Yeah.
know that we have a face up pai gow game
Yep.
at the casino where I'm working now, and I don't know how to deal that yet. So I'll have to go and yes, I have many more variations that I have to learn.
It's really, really easy. It's really, really fun. Face up, high got poker. I really enjoy it. The dealer just flips up the cards right away, and then everyone does their thing. And if the dealer has an ace high, then you basically push, and there's no commission. Like that's basically all face up, high got poker is.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like super easy. It makes Pai Gow poker like way easier, and then you don't even have to deal with a player banker or anything.
Yeah, that does make it a lot easier.
But it's good that you learned that. You should learn like, actual real Pai Gow poker and then learn the variations and everything.
Yeah, I learned pai gow in dealer school, but it's pai gow's only open like maybe 30% of the time. I have a day shift job, so it's it's not it's closed more often than it's open. So I need to brush up on that before I can even be on that game to begin with because I've gotten almost no mileage on it. So.
Yeah. Day shift, that's pretty cool. You don't see that very often.
Working day shift is pretty awesome.
It is. Let me see if you guys have any questions real quick. And again, if you do have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. So, the dude from France, he has a question. Okay, I'm actually about to start dealing school and I'm left-handed. Do you have any basic advice for someone who's just starting out with the school? Besides practice.
Definitely let your instructors know right away. Like the first thing, like you walk in, you introduce yourself, you give them your check, and say I'm left-handed. Like make sure they know right away. And if they're and they should. I mean, every dealing school has seen a fair amount of left-handed dealers come through their classrooms. I'm sure. Like they will like just. But they can't help you if they don't know.
Exactly.
So just be very upfront. Repeat yourself as many times as necessary, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just practice a lot, but you can do it.
That's really great advice because if you go in there and you learn, they're just going to teach you the right-handed way of dealing it, and they don't know to teach you the left-handed way if you don't tell them you're left-handed. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and pretty often all of your instructors are going to be right-handed, but sometimes they'll be able to pair you with like another experienced dealer who might be a lefty and might be able to give you a little bit more insight than they can.
Awesome. Did you have any trouble with the casinos when you started working? Did you notify them that you were left-handed, and then what was their response?
I said it in every audition before I even get in the pit. I'm left-handed, and sometimes they will because there are different casinos want you to do things in different ways. There was one place I auditioned that wanted me to take and pay in the opposite order, because I was left-handed, but only one, and the rest of the places I auditioned said, "Oh my gosh, I've never even heard of such a thing." So it's really going to be venue by venue.
Yeah.
So again, the most important thing is to be forthcoming and listen to your floor supervisor.
Yeah, and remember, every casino is different. Every floor supervisor is different. That's the hard thing that I had trouble learning with when I was a dealer was it's not just every casino is different. Every floor supervisor is different. You're going to have some floor supervisors that want you to do it one way, and other floor supervisors that want you to do it another way. And the hard part is you have to remember which one wants what, so that way when you're in that person's pit, you could do it the right way.
And that's really hard for me. I have most of my floor supervisors don't want the second deck taken out of the shuffle machine on 3 card poker when the game's dead. But there are a couple that go absolutely apoplectic if the second deck is left in the shuffle machine, and I can never remember who's who. So fun times.
If that ever happens, always you can always feel free to ask the floorman before you start a shift. So go up to the floorman, hey, I just don't remember. Do you like it this way? Do you like it that way? Okay, now I know. And then you could do it that way for the whole shift. And I'm sure they would appreciate it too, because then they would rather tell the people who are dealing, this is how I like it, versus going and finding out, hey, you're not doing the way I like it. And then you have, Godzilla to deal with.
Yeah, and at least that way they know you're making an effort,
Yes.
and that really helps a lot, because
Yeah.
you are going to meet a lot of people in this industry who are not doing their best, and if you are doing your best, you are going to be head and shoulders above the crowd just
Yeah.
by giving your all. So like that will get you pretty far. That has covered for me in a lot of bad spots.
Awesome. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. And we're doing pretty good on time here.
Does that mean we have to eat up some more time, or we're making
No,
good
it
time,
means
or-
we're
okay.
doing good time.
Good, okay.
Yeah, we're doing good time. Fred says, Heather, your comment on using the proper technique for rolling the roulette ball is interesting. Do the casino managers keep an eye out for bad ergonomic forms and provide feedback to dealers? Not really.
Yeah, they should, but they don't.
Yeah.
I think they have. Well, I don't know if I should say they should, because
No, they should.
They have a lot on their plates, but
They
like,
do.
Yeah, because it doesn't. It also, I can't imagine that it was terribly helpful to your employer to have you out for surgery on your hand. Like,
Right.
it should. They have a vested interest in making sure that that you do it, even if not the right way, a way that is not going to injure you and result in time lost from the job.
Right, they don't want workers' comp. And then the other thing too is it is their job, it is in their job description to watch dealers and make sure they deal per house policies and procedures. Like that is one of their jobs. And I agree with you, they have a lot on their plate. They have way too many games that they're watching. In the old days, they would watch like 2 games, 3 games, maybe 4 games, that's it. But nowadays they're doing 6, 8, 10 games, and it's just insane.
Not where I work.
Oh, really? How many games are they watching?
Well, it depends if one of those games is dice, you're on 3.
See, that's crazy. Because in the old days, one boxman would watch 1 game all the time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have multiple floor boxmen watching multiple craps games.
Yeah, we have this it's the same floor for the dice table, the roulette wheel, and one blackjack table.
Yeah, that's too much.
And then the other floor is doing the whole rest of whatever is open that day.
Yeah, that's insane. And then they have so much stuff that they have to think about and worry about, plus rating players and getting all of that information in. It's nuts. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, they have a tough job. I understand why.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. So Tom says, I never realized all you have to go through when I was out there playing. Okay. I actually agree. I think most people don't realize how hard dealing is.
Yeah, I think it sort of goes one of two ways. I think it's either totally unappreciated or totally exaggerated how
Yeah,
hard it is.
that's a
And
good
the
point.
reality is that it's somewhere in the middle.
Well, I don't know. I've had some pretty crazy nights as a dealer, and sometimes the movies don't lie.
I've had some pretty crazy moments too. I had one today that I don't know if I should if I should repeat on the stream. But I mean, I've had oh yeah, the drunk guy who asked me to marry him and then puked on himself was my all-time favorite. Like sometimes life is so beautiful I can hardly stand it.
Right, right, seriously. You see
You can't make this
everything.
up.
You can't. The best thing in the world is to get dealers together and ask them to start telling stories. Dude, you could go all night and the stories are freaking crazy. Oh, yeah, I've had puke on my table, I've had crap on my table, I've had piss on my table, I've had dude, one day we had a group of guys come in and they were wearing like tutus. Not anything on the top, not anything else, just tutus. And they're walking around.
Must have been downtown.
It was downtown. It was. It really was downtown. It was.
That sounds like some very downtown stuff.
You know, I used to work on Fremont Street. Okay, we're getting a little bit into this. I used to work downtown on Fremont Street as a henna artist. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's super cool too.
Well, I mean, you see some crazy stuff because you're just sitting there and you're waiting for people to walk by and you're people watching, dude. You see crazy things.
I'm sure.
Oh, so we had, I was sitting there one day and this homeless woman was walking by and she stops right in front of my booth and she pulls down her pants and she does number two right there in front of me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I see one of the cops, because the cops were always riding their bikes. I see one of the cops ride his bike by, and he sees it, and he stops, and he, calls over his buddies. So his two other buddies come by, and they're gonna haul her off to jail, but they can't do it while she's in the middle of defecating. So it was hilarious because I'm sitting there and I'm watching three cops in a triangle with her in the middle, and they're just shooting the shit like it's a normal day and nothing is happening. And she's sitting there in the middle, like, ah, oh. I'm just watching, like, really? Like, this is my day, really? Fremont, downtown. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing quite like it.
Nothing quite like it. Okay, let's see if you guys are asking any other questions. Oh, they're liking the crazy dealer stories.
You should have an episode just of that.
I should. You know
Like,
what? We should
get
do
like
that.
an all-star highlight reel of all of your friends with all the craziest stories,
Well,
and have everybody tell like their top two or three.
Yeah, maybe we should have like a group one day, and then we just all sit there and just tell, dealer stories and everything. I'm good
in.
with it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a new live stream. I'm doing that. I'm so doing that. I'm gonna buy dinner for everyone. We'll sit down and we'll do a live stream and we'll just tell dealer stories.
That would be so much fun.
That sounds awesome. Thank you. That's a great idea. I appreciate that. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Speak now or forever hold your peace. One last time, if you ever get a chance, go to the Mint, check them out. They're really awesome. Woo. Grab a drink. And if you are new to this channel, we are here to help you. We're here to help you learn how to play casino table games, how to deal casino table games, help you get a job if you need it. And remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos and live streams. And the next live stream will be this Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to see what I could do about getting a group of dealers together. Just saying.
I look forward to it.
Just saying. Okay, cool. So everyone's good. Everyone's cool. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very, very much for being here.
And thank you for inviting me.
Okay, have a great one, you guys. See you next time. Bye.